Yes. All right. So now I'm going to get into the Ethan Klein losing his sponsor stuff. So again, as I was saying earlier, Papa Gut is somebody that I do follow on YouTube, and I do watch a lot of his stuff.
This is a real
Papa Gut really has some pretty good insights, I believe, on a lot of topics that circulate the YouTube and social media sphere in general. So I saw that he posted a video and I was like, oh, it's only 7 minutes and 38 seconds. Okay, we could totally react to that within the podcast itself. And I don't have to do like a whole separate like reaction video for it or anything. So, all right. So Papa Gut, here he is. Handsome, dapper looking lad. Fellow beard fellow. Love you, sir. All right. Ethan Klein loses his sponsors.
Finally, right? All right, guys. Listen, I came across this. We got Rich Lex here. Wow, Ethan Klein has lost all his sponsors.
Yes,
what are your thoughts on this? Leave your comments down below for a hot topic video. Let's watch this again. Okay, relax.
As being a YouTuber as you are, sir, post your comments down below. Engage with the fellow besties down there. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you like what it is that I'm bringing on over.
Ethan, you're talking too much.
Sponsors, because
I have a tendency to talk too much, and you will learn that about me if you don't already know. If you haven't watched, the 30+ videos that I already have existing on this channel.
We have no sponsors because
damn.
I am an existential threat to.
I watched this video live, by the way. I watched the episode live as it was happening. I'll give my thoughts later on it, but I was just as shocked. I think everybody, that watches the show, they were just kind of like, whoa, this is kind of like a, let's just get right into it. So this episode is sponsored by nobody because apparently I pissed a lot of people off and they went after my sponsors, and now my bag is getting affected. So
gay rights and all progress. So
yeah, true.
I do listen. I can already see. I mean, I guess I had an idea of like how Papa Gut would feel about it because I know how my stance on it at this point. But I can understand how this way of opening the show is gonna piss some other people off. But again, it's a comedy podcast, and I laughed. As a gay man, I thought it was funny. I was not offended by the way he opened this episode at all. I thought it was hilarious.
Of course, our wonderful fans have taken upon themselves to write all of our sponsors, and to have them not sponsor or not to support us. I'll just say this. I'm very thankful to our members because...
Well, I think you make a lot of money with just a pod. Like, you don't need the sponsors financially to succeed. I will say that. I'm gonna get into it after, but like, the members too. So yeah,
it makes this show kind of bulletproof to stuff like this. It's just painful that people would do that. There it is. And the other thing is like you expect a little more of the sponsors in a way, but I get it. There is, it's just transactional for them. But I feel like I
mean, that's the thing. It's just like at the end of the day, it's like it is very transactional. They're kind of like leeches in that way, where it's good that they come along because you can kind of like bleed them out a little bit as much as they're bleeding you out for your viewership. You're just drawing eyes and attention onto their product, but they're paying you to do so, and you're able to cut that 5% around the podcast however you want. I can hire that new person. I could finally hire that producer that Trisha wanted months ago. But have them for our own. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, obviously, it's like it's a huge chunk of scratch that he's essentially now missing out on, which it sucks. And the moment itself on the podcast, it shouldn't have gone as far as it did. But the fact of the matter is, it did, and this is the end result of it. Do I think that it's fair? Quite frankly, I don't. I really don't think it's fair. Actually, I don't. I think he apologized. I think he addressed it. Whether or not you felt he was genuine, you have to just approach things from the standpoint of just, hey, time will tell. That's what I believe. I believe that there is no one person on this planet that is void of coming back from a shitty moment. I believe everybody can change. Whether or not you want to or will is left for discussion. But I believe that everybody at least has a small speck of capacity to be able to change. Whether or not they will, obviously left up to mystery.
I put so much into our good partners, and it's kind of crazy when they just drop you like a bag of dirt one over some.
All right, so there's obviously a lot here. The first thing I will say is that, like, when it comes to Ethan's take, I've talked about it really quick, though. Like, what he said about bottoms or whatever, I don't think it's a big issue. It's the way that he reacted to people reacting to him. He probably should have just been like, who cares?
Agreed, 100%. I agree with that 100%. And that was literally the conversation that I was engaging in on Twitter with a couple people, because that's fucking healthy. But literally, it's just like, dude, it's not about the whole bottom thing, because the whole thing is like they were shitting on James Charles, and James Charles should be shat on quite literally every day moving on forward, simply because of the fact that allegedly he's a he's I don't even want to say it. It's disgusting, but he's, what he is, what the internet is saying. So he deserves to have the criticism that comes his way based on the allegations, even though we kind of already know what the deal is. But anyway, it's really more about how they reacted to the reaction. Their feelings got hurt because other peelings. Oh, my Pinky Patel on TikTok. Other peelings. I did not mean that. That sounds so horrible. Oh my God. So this is a situation where feelings were hurt by feelings. Okay. Everybody got their feelings hurt, and this is the end result of it. Whether or not it was warranted, again, left up to debate. But since this is my channel, I'm saying that I agree with Papa God, and I don't think that it's justified.
But he was being kind of mean. He was pushing that one guy a lot. I think a gay person called in, and then he was like, "Oh, well, are you a power bottom? Do you like that?" It was inappropriate. It was like shitty. It was a shitty thing that he did.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
No, I also think that the sponsors dropping him is an incredible disproportionate response. It's crazy.
100%.
But also, Ethan did call for, Keemstar to lose his sponsors. I think Keemstar lost his. I think Keemstar is a shittier, definitely than Ethan.
True.
There's things criticized.
Keemstar is shittier. He's like the shittiest, but like Keemstar is worse than people like Tan Mom. Okay, Keemstar is worse than like Snooki at her worst, and Snooki was pretty bad when she was, down bad. Like now she's a mom and she's mature and she got new teeth and stuff. So it's like everything. She's on the up and up. But Keemstar just seems to kind of like stay, like he loves to stay riding the low ground, because apparently he likes being stepped on for the piece of dirt that he is.
Both of them, but I think Moist Critical made a video. He's like, you're going down. It's like a slippery slope, and then it happened to him. So like you pretty much what you did to Keemstar did happen to you. Obviously. So, that's kind of the way the internet works, man, at this point. And I would say that there's a level of you cultivated this audience, man. Listen, I don't think you're 100% responsible for your audience, but you kind of cultivated an audience. You tend to try to cater to the people that are very like cancel culture-y. And I know what the cancel culture people are on like both sides. It's not just like conservatives or progressives, but I would say that progressives tend to have a bit more cancel culture power. when it comes to a lot of things.
Yeah, because they have more influence on, media and culture itself.
There's a bigger representation of like, the cancel-y leftists and the cancel-y rightists, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And you kind of cater to that group, and you invite them into.
It's the annoying world that we live in, where it's just like everybody's against everybody. We can't just fucking have a conversation. We can't just disagree agreeably. Everything just has to be like all fucking dagger driven and like cancel everybody. And we will not stop until you die. It's just like, what do you guys expect? That's the thing. Like, I agree that we should always, always, always hold people accountable for their poor actions. But at the end of the day, the moment has passed, the moment continues to pass, the person has apologized and whatever. At what point do we reach a point where we're just like, okay, I get, there's nothing else to be said if no new developments have occurred? You know what I'm saying? It's just like people just like want you to live in torment for things that you do or say. And the thing of it is that like each and every one of us has said and will say in the future something that we regret. But the difference is that a lot of people, the majority of people, you're saying it to like a friend or an acquaintance or just some random person you're having a conversation with. So you don't have a humongous audience of people watching to judge and to share with other people to grow that reaction, right? If I'm having an argument, a real nasty argument with, like a boyfriend or something, and, I say, I want you to die, fuck you and your family, like, throw that cat out the window. Like we're just having that conversation. I'm just so mad, and I'm saying some crazy shit. We're all just saying crazy shit back and forth to each other, right? The difference is I'm having that conversation, that argument with that one person, and I don't have, 3 million people there to tell me that I'm wrong for saying that. It's good to obviously have, not saying that you shouldn't, but it's good to obviously have smarter voices around you, voices of reason that can be able to talk you out of certain situations like that, right? Prevent you from saying the harmful things that in the moment you may want to say, but in reality, that you shouldn't be saying it. So in this case, this is a situation where, again, Ethan and Hila have a company where they do 3 podcasts a week, and they're all comedy podcasts. And, sometimes your humor gets away from you and shit is said. It's what you do moving forward, honestly, that should be what people judge you most on. And I think so far, he's done what he's needed to do. He doesn't need to bleed for you as an audience member. You know what I mean? It's just like, at what point is it like, okay, well, let's bitch about something else? You know what I mean? It's just, the culture is so weird. The culture is so weird. The internet is so weird. This is all the internet's fault, but I mean, I love the internet, but damn, like, I just personally, me, obviously somebody who's, exploring and venturing into getting into the talk commentary space and stuff and starting a channel and, figuring out branding and things like that. Seeing shit like this just freaks me out. Because at the end of the day, it's like, I want to get into commentary and just kind of just creating a space of conversation. But at what point does the conversation come back on you in a negative light? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not to say that, because here's the thing. I'll just say this and then I'll move on, because I can really, really, I can go on far long tangents, and I have a lot of shit that I have to get through on this fucking episode. So I'll just say that my purpose And my intention with having a YouTube channel is that I just want to be able to have somewhere to speak honestly and create engagement, find new friends, and have fun times. Watch some stupid videos, have some weird conversations. Like, that's literally all I want. And I'm sure that every YouTuber that jumps into the space, or any person that jumps into the social media space and gives themselves in this way, I feel like we all start with the same intention for fun. And then, it could get away from you and become more of the product and whatever comes with that. Anyway, that's a conversation for a whole other time. But the point is that I just want to lead with honesty. And I can't deny that this shit freaks me out. Shit like this freaks me out.
Your thing, which is totally fine. And then they bitch and moan about everything. That's what they fucking do. They, not all leftists, but these particular types of leftists, they just bitch and moan about every fucking thing that's going on. And you responded to it. You took the bait, and then they got upset, and then they started emailing sponsors, and then you lost your sponsors. And it's like, yeah, I think it's shitty. I think overall it's not good. I know a lot of people are like, see, you this is good. Like, you suck a dick, Ethan. But at the end of the day, it's not good.
And the truth of the matter is, there's a lot of people that are like that. And the majority of them are on fucking Twitter. I don't know what it is about Twitter and why it's cultivated like such a nasty group of it's like a gross subsection of the internet. I don't know. I don't think Elon Musk is coming in and making it any better. Let's just be honest.
It's kind of bad. It's a bad thing for anybody who has sponsors, but because you could potentially lose them. It is shitty from like the sponsor's perspective, because he probably did generate a lot for them, and then they dropped him.
Of course.
And it probably wouldn't have mattered, but it probably just felt like the more virtuous way to go.
It sucks on both sides. It sucks on both sides because both parties benefited very well, and now they're not. I mean, maybe it'll be temporary. Maybe it was just like for that episode. I don't know. They're live right now, so for all I know, the episode that they're recording right now, could be sponsored. I have no idea. I haven't checked in, but either way, yeah. Two entities that were strongly benefiting from each other are no longer going to benefit from each other. And it sucks. It sucks for them. I mean, I don't give a shit because it has nothing to do with me. But the part of it that I do, again, cringe at is the fact that it's like, well, if anything ever happens here in this space and I ever, imagine myself at that level, that's a scenario that you face, and it's terrifying. It's a little scary. Just a skosh.
But at the end of the day, man, like, I mean, you're fortunate that you don't need the sponsorships. That's the fortunate part of it. But I would say try not to lean into that, because not for nothing, like there will be new sponsors probably. Yeah, people who will want to be opportunists, of course. But
oh yeah,
but course. My thing is like, bro, not
that's
for
what
nothing,
I'm saying. Like,
kind of
the episode that could be literally recording now could literally have a sponsor.
Did something similar to Jordan Peterson. You were never his sponsor, but like what, you removed all the videos because he had a take that you didn't understand about, I think it was conversion therapy. He was made a point about how Justin Trudeau was morally grandstanding on the conversion therapy, and you're like, oh, so you like conversion therapy? I'm dropping you. I'm going to remove all my stuff, and I'm just going to stop contacting you. It's like you effectively cut your ties with him in the same way that, and that was over a misconception, because his point, whether you agree with Jordan Peterson or not, his point was like it's a kind of like a. Not everybody who goes into a therapist potentially over their gender identity is somebody that has gender dysphoria. And so apparently the wordage didn't even let you suggest that they didn't have like a gender identity disorder or gender dysphoria. I think that's the correct term. And so like you might be giving a diagnosis to somebody who misdiagnosis to somebody, or you might prevent them from getting the treatment that they may need. And that was his point. And you kind of dropped him over a misconception, and now the sponsors are dropping you over a misconception. And it is like, what comes around goes around,
I mean, what he's saying is it's fair. It's very fair. I obviously we don't know one way or the other, but I think Papa Gut's assessment of this situation is very fair.
So at the end of the day, man, Ethan's getting hit pretty hard here, and I think that it sucks. But not that you deserve it, but I think that it's probably good for you to feel a little bit of a taste of like your own type of medicine. And Jordan Peterson did call.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I disagree with that statement, but I just I would have worded it differently, I guess. It's like a harsh truth, it's just like a harsh truth where it's just like this moment for Ethan, again, like I said, probably needed to happen so he can figure out how to better operate the space. But then again, who knows? Who really knows? That it's all fucking speculation.
Yeah. You could have sat down and invited Jordan to have a conversation because you have a big platform. Like you could have been the guy. That would
he should invite Jordan Peterson on to Leftovers with him and Hassan, period. Yeah, and if Jordan Peterson really has this grandstanding take to overtake these leftist punks, then let them do it on their show. I guess
chat with people about different things like, hey, what do you mean by this, and blah 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 blah. So, at the end of the day, all that's really happening is every single time Ethan takes another hit, it's just opening up an opportunity for me to go on the show and talk to Ethan, which will just platform my career.
You know what? Honestly, like, not for nothing, but I think that Ethan really should have somebody like Papa Gut. I mean, obviously, Papa Gut specifically, I mean, I would totally watch. I mean, I watch the show anyway, but I mean, it would be pretty awesome to see them come together and have a conversation because I think Papa Gut could really listen. Just a thought, but Papa Gut, Ethan Klein, something like Frenemies, but more intelligent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like Leftovers with him and Hassan. Like it's funny. It has its moments and things, and nothing could compare to Frenemies. But I think maybe Papa Gut can talk some sense into Ethan, and I'd be excited to watch that on a weekly basis, to be quite honest.
That's what's gonna happen. Ethan's success is gonna come down, and mine's gonna go up at the same time until a point where he'll finally have me on. But mine will never like get to his,
I mean, his thought process on it is a little different than mine, but okay, still valid.
It'll be like, like here,
I'm over here looking at it from like a humorous aspect, like, oh, they'd have a lot of great conversations. And he's just like, well, his fame is dropping, so he's reaching more my level.
Let's do a diagram. Here's my success right now. So we're gonna do like a success tree.
Of course, here he goes to another diagram. Cheese.
It's a success tree.
Papa.
Right here, right? So this is the success tree. Fuck. Boom. Right, so like here's 10%. This is Papa Gut's success, right? And obviously, Ethan
for a second, I'm like, you playing Hangman? What's happening?
That's whether you like him or not is like here. So this is what'll happen. Every day something happens and Ethan slowly goes downwards, and every day I slowly go upwards, much slower. It's like a very slow.
What is happening?
But
like, who the hell just fucking called me? Rude. Spam caller just totally interrupted my show. I'm fucking nervous. Some people fucking nervous. Should I answer? Bitch, that wanna fuck around. Fucking nerve.
I'm at maybe I'll get to 11%, and Ethan will get down to 90%, and he'll be like, "Oh, I'll talk to this guy finally," or something like that. But all jokes aside, yeah, man, a little bit of taste your medicine. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs.
All right, well, I mean, obviously he didn't really go in depth about it because at the end of the day, it's like, it's the conversation of the moment, but there's only so much you could say. I mean, what really can be said that hasn't been said before?